upcoming generation, they will have a lot of attachment ruptures, where attachment is going to be a very big issue. We heard about identity crisis, especially during the adolescent, but I would suggest that now even the youth has got identity crisis. When we come about the parenting and thinking about the family, that's a very huge issue. Western formulated thinking of parenting, where only the parents are responsible. But in Indian context, for a child's development, it was not only the family, but the community, the neighbor, all these people actually played a vital role. There are many challenges, but some of the things that come to my mind when we think about parenting in the Indian context is everything changed very fast. The production, the consumption, and the space or the time in between has reduced to maybe you can say 0 or 1 day. That is the world that actually changed. Whatever will be the product, it reaches all of us very fast. And the children actually suffer from formation of identity. A newborn baby is actually a product which is maybe there are certain things available with him, and the rest of the things are actually formed from the society and the community. And everybody around this particular format is actually contributing to the basic identity formation of the child. And I feel there lies the problem. And in the future, upcoming generation, they will have a lot of attachment ruptures, where attachment is going to be a very big issue. Why one of the issues you highlighted here is people are afraid to get into marriage and for going for family relationship. That is because they have actually the experiences, or they themselves become the vulnerable. They experience the vulnerability of being in a ruptured relationships. Whether they witness somebody in the family and they are worried whether they would be able to carry out with the responsible family. That's one thing. Second aspect, as I said earlier again, the components that a child carries from his childhood to the adolescent to the adulthood, that is actually the components that triggers all sort of thinking, that something that contribute to the identity formation. And we heard about identity crisis, especially during the adolescent, but I would suggest that now even the youth has got identity crisis. When we come about the parenting and thinking about the family, that's a very huge issue. And we usually talk about remedies, but we teach parenting styles, all this. And I would admit the fact that we always follow the Western formulated thinking of parenting, where only the parents are responsible. But in Indian context, for a child's development, it was not only the family, but the community, the neighbor, all these people actually played a vital role. And we are actually in between this sandwich. Like, we haven't reached Western style. We have actually departed from the Kerala or Indian style which we have been following. And we have a generation which is sandwiched. But we consume the international media or the product, whatever is. And the very key aspect here is the children, and now the market is, the entire media or entire the world is market driven. And what Indian children need is really identified by the media. It's not merely West alone. The Korean series or whatever we talk about, all these people decide what the Indian child must see. And unfortunately, parents are not that fast. This generation is quite fast, and they make use of the product. They avail the product before the parents come to know about the product and being introduced to them. So there lies the challenge. Like parents really need I wouldn't say training, but they need support. They need support from every corners. And even from the religious perspective, if you look at some of the mechanisms that we had early to control the behavior of children, or at least to instill some pattern of behavior in children, we had the support of religious teachings. Every children, when they were strong with the children prayers and all, they had actually a good impact on the children's behavior modification. That is gone. So these sort of support mechanism, not only from the religious institution, educational institution, neighborhood institutions, communities, even panchayats or local self-government, they all must have programs that support the parenting and there must be collective effort, collective discussions happening. And there are a lot of technology available, even though when we talk about social media is largely, but the problem here is not the media or not the technology availability, but the content that we consume daily. And there are a lot of content which is available to parents also to see the other side of the picture. But unfortunately, we don't make use of those available resources, or we are unable to do it. So this support must reach to them. And parenting has become not a parent, husband and wife role. I would say they are not the only the people who can do it. It did not, I mean, it was not like that in Indian context. It was collective responsibility, but we lost the collective responsibility. Parents are actually running after the what you call the market driven desires. And another aspect is, even earlier the people used to get settle down by 30, at least in the beginning of 30. Now even at the 40s, along with the midlife crisis, parents, when they have to parent the adolescent, they are actually running after to settle down. That's also another issue. So there is a transition that happened with the entire life cycle that is also to be seen from this context. So these are some of the things that I had in my mind when I heard about this. Basically, the things that shape the identity of a child has changed. A lot of changes. Right from the beginning, first day on the earth itself, it has changed. The issues, the divorce, the world is so fast. Everything reaches very fast to the children. And they learn what we learn in our 30s, the children learn in their 50s, 15 or teenagers. So that is so fast. So that is something that parents need a support. And there must be collective formats. Parenting education, even when a graduate student getting out, we call it family life education. It must be given from the education institutions. So that will support the parents to basically form. And the church and other authorities have family life education before the premarital counseling. I would suggest that it must be given to every stage of the family life cycle. Like marriage, before they having first baby, when they have first baby, when the children start going to the school, that is another one, transition. Parents need training in these junctures. Then when they have a teenage children to be parented, that time they need a lot of training. When they have to, the next stage is when these children need to be given in marriage to someone, the parents need training. When I say training, it doesn't mean that formal education, at least some support mechanism that must come from different institution which is available in our Indian context. Yeah, thank you.